Assalamu alaikum and welcome everyone. I'm your host Hiba. Today's webinar from observation to motivation, how teacher mindset shapes students' engagement. Today we have two presenters, both are experienced inspectors, Ms. Malika and Ms. Soaad. Also, we have our aim moderators, Sagar and Wijdan, will be managing the chat box below. Okay, we are waiting for more people to come. Okay, hello teachers. Can you write your name and one word which describe your day today? And could you type from where are you watching us? Okay, Mariam, she's from Zliten. Okay, she's excited. We have also here Iman from Benghazi. She's ready. Good. We have Ibrahim Tripoli. He's eager. Okay. Okay. We have great and excellent responses. Can we move to Miss Malika? She will presenting mindsets and growth. And following Miss Soaad, she will presenting peer observation. The floor is yours, Miss Malika. You can start.
Okay, thank you, Hiba. Hello, everyone. I am really happy to have you with us today. I hope you will enjoy our sessions and find it useful and engaging. Let's now move into the heart of our today's discussions. Let's start with this question. Have you ever had a class where students were completely disengaged? What did it look like? Write in the chat box, please. Have you ever had a class where students were completely disengaged? What did it look like?
Okay, as Miss Malika said, have you ever or faced a time that your students were completely disengaged? What happened? Can you write in only one sentence? And I will be reading your answers. We have Nisreen here. She said yes. Some students put their heads on their desks or look out the window. Okay, we have Rania. She said sometimes the kids look down or they are daydreaming. Okay, I have the same problem with my students. We have Muftah. Not, not usually. My students are, they have lots of speaking and give answers. Those are great answers. What do you think, Miss Malik, about these answers?
Okay. Thank you for your honest responses. It's clear that many of us face similar classroom situations, so it's completely normal. Now, before we start, let's understand what we aim to achieve in our today's webinar. At the end of this webinar, you will be able to understand the connection between teacher mindset and students' motivation, identify common challenges in Libyan classroom affecting motivation, apply peer observation as a supportive tool for professional growth, and also you will use simple practical strategies to boost student engagement. Finally, you will reflect on your own teaching practices and mindset. Now, as we are clear on our directions, let's move to our discussions. Now, let's start with something very practical, our words. Honestly, because what you say inside your class can affect either build students or break their confidence. A simple sentence like, I made a mistake. It can be, I am on the mistakes are lessons. A simple sentence like I'm not good at this. It can be I am on the right track. So the difference isn't ability, it is the way we think. So change your words, change your mindset. Now, today, we aren't blaming our students. Today, we are exploring how our mindset as teachers can affect and change everything. As you can see on the screen, we have two types of mindset: a growth mindset and fixed mindset. Before we move on, let's now briefly clarify what we mean by a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. A fixed mindset means believing that abilities cannot change or don't change. In contrast, a growth mindset means believing that abilities can develop with effort and practice. Example of teacher with the fixed mindset might say, my students aren't good at speaking. But a teacher with a growth mindset would say, my students aren't good at speaking yet, but with the practice and my support can improve. To understand it better, let's now see to this comparison. As you can see on the screen here, that we have fixed mindset and growth mindset. A person who with the fixed mindset would say, I can't do this. While a person with the growth mindset says, I can learn this. Somebody with the fixed mindset says, I avoid the challenges. But someone with the growth mindset says, I try new challenges. Mistakes are lessons. We should learn from them. I give up early. I keep trying. Feedback is criticism. Feedback helps me grow. So now, as you can see in next slide here, this is example of a challenge. Student with the fixed mindset, when they receive a poor grade on assignment or exam, they believe their intelligence is fixed. So they will say, I'm stupid at this. I shouldn't even try. So the effort decreases and it ends up with negative outcomes. While growth mindset students, sorry, a student with the growth mindset uh, believes that a poor grade can make them grow and try again and again. If the student believes her intelligence can grow, he would say, I haven't mastered this yet. So the effort increases and he or she achieves positive outcomes. So now, to understand it better, let's bring into closer your daily classroom experience.
Uh, to be honest, teaching English language is not always easy. Actually, it has never been easy. Why? Because of the challenges that teachers face every day in their classrooms. Let me share one of the most disturbing challenge that I used to have when I was a teacher. It is the student fear of making mistakes. Students refuse to participate or hesitate because they are afraid of being judged either by the teachers or their fellow classmates. So now it's your turn to share one challenge you face when it comes to motivating your learners. Uh, don't push yourself hard. Write the challenges through your real experience, okay? And let us share them together. Let us see the challenges that you face. I know that there are a lot.
Okay. As Ms. Soaad said, can you write one challenge you faced when it comes to motivating your learners? I will be following your answers in the chat box. We have Walid here said, they are shy to speak in front of classmates. Good point. We have Fawziya said, student doesn't see the need to use English. They just want to pass the test. Yes, I can't agree more. We have some great answers. Okay, moving to Miss Soaad, applying for
Yes,
these questions.
thank you for being honest. These challenges are very real. And this leads us to a very important question. How or what can we do differently to handle this situation?
Okay, instead of focusing on the problem, we should shift our thinking to improve these situations. So now let's talk about mindset. As you can see here, positive teachers don't lower expectations, they change strategies. So instead of saying students are weak, you can say, what can I change in my teaching? Instead of saying they don't want to learn, you can say they aren't engaged yet, and I need to find the key. Now, to make it more practical, let's try this quick activity. Turn this sentence into positive one. My students aren't motivated. Write in the chat box, please.
Okay, as Miss Malika said, can you write your answers in the box? My students are not motivated. Yes. Yes, she's using the power of yes. Sorry, yes, not yes. We have Sarah. I can help my students see the value of learning English. It's a great point. We have a lot of comments. I'm trying to read some of them. We have Tariq said, I can learn about my students' interactions to include in class. We have Fatma said, my students need more or my help in learning, of course. Okay, those are great points. Moving to Miss Malika.
Okay, now I can see this. This is where real challenge begins. Now, but mindset alone isn't enough. Let's now talk about something different. We need to learn from each other.
After we explored mindset with Miss Malika, let's move on to another powerful tool for professional growth, which is peer observation. Let me first give you a quick overview of peer observation. So, what is peer observation? It's when teachers observe each other to learn, to reflect, and to develop without a judgment. So let me clear about one thing, which is peer observation is not about judging each other. It's about learning together. Now, look at the picture. What can you see? Can you please go back to the picture? Look at the picture here. There are two teachers located in two different places. One is in front explaining a lesson. The other is sitting at the back observing. He is observing. But what are the goals of his observing? And how did it come? Did he volunteer to observe, or was he asked to observe by his colleague? Let's move on. Move on, please. So, you know that one of the most important way for us to teachers to grow is learning from each other, either in at schools, in teacher sitting rooms, or through the social media sites like WhatsApp, Facebook, Telegram, whatever. But have you ever invited a colleague to attend one of your classes? Yeah, write yes or no in the chat box with a reason. And how did it feel if you still remember?
Okay,
Okay.
as a peer observer, what would you suggest? Can you write in the chat box? We have you, Sami said, no, I would be too nervous. Okay, this is a nice point of view. We have Eunice said, yes, my colleagues and I join each other classes to get new ideas. We have Saeed, once my colleagues watched me try a new technique and gave me suggestion or feedback. We have Ramadan said, no, never. Those are great answers. Hussein, Hussein, yes, my colleagues observed me as I was preparing for an inspector visit. Yes, those are great answers or great point of views. Okay, moving to you, Miss Soaad.
Let me be clear about one thing, that peer observation is not about inspection. So the right idea of peer observation is supporting, is learning together. We learn together, we support each other, we grow together side by side. This is the idea of peer observation. Now, let's move on to the steps of peer observation. So, peer observation goes through three main steps: before class, during class, and after class. Before class, ask your colleague, what one thing should I focus on? And this happens when a colleague feels concerned about one aspect of his teaching performance or anything. He invited a colleague to attend one of his classes, and they sit out and agree about one aspect they should focus on. And so the observer is asking the observee about what one thing should he focus on. During the class, colleague takes notes on only that one thing, not more, not any other things. And else he doesn't have to interact in the classroom. Just sit there and write notes about the thing which he had been asked to observe. Which is, for example, teacher talk time. After class, two main things are going to be discussed: what went well and what if. Actually, the feedback should be supportive, not judgmental. Start by mentioning the strength, then moving to the area that needs to be focused on. For example, the observer says one strength is that it was the student engagement. One thing we should explore together is your questioning technique. That's how the observee gets a good, a nice and supportive feedback. Now, let's go to the observer. What can he focus on in order to observe that the point that they agreed on before the class? Teacher talk time compared to students talk time. How many different students speak? You know that all classes have individual differences. Did they all participate? or just a few students. Wait time after asking a question. Use of Arabic. Was it much? Was it little? Then engagement. Was it up or down? To make this uh, connect to our real classroom, let's watch this simple scenario. You are teaching grade 9, struggling to get students to speak. Your teacher talk time increased. You asked a colleague for help. As an observer, what would you suggest for that situation? Write your suggestions in the chat box.
Okay, as Ms. Soaad said, think of one lesson you teach. How can you make it more engaging? I will read from the chat box. My colleagues could count the students' talk time compared to teachers' talk time. Okay, this is a new way. We have Munira, yes, sorry. I could ask them to take notes about the time students do see willing to talk. Okay, so you keep tracking with the timer. That's a very good point. We have Amina. My observer could make notes about how I use CCQs and give instructions. Maybe my students do know what to do. Okay, engaging the students in real. We have Jamila said, I could ask my colleagues to watch if students speak more comfortably during pair work versus whole class time. Those are great answers and great points of view. Okay, moving to Ms. Saad here.
Yeah, excellent ones. Excellent, actually. And as an observer, what do you have to focus on? Student participations, students' engagement, and teacher talk time. And and what is powerful here, many of your ideas are pointing to the right directions. So based on what you have shared, let's let's turn these ideas into posting motivating strategies, such as praising effort, not just correct answers. Ask why and how questions in order to encourage the students to speak. Give students small chances to succeed. Reduce teacher talk time. Now let's go to Miss Malika.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Soaad. There are simple strategies, but they can make big difference in our classroom, actually. All right, now instead of just talking about them, let's put them into practical. Okay, think of one lesson you teach. How can you make it more engaging? You can type in the chat box and yes,
Yes, we
how?
have here.
Yeah.
Nahla wrote, try new things like games, okay, and songs. So using gamification in the classroom. Great idea. We have Amal, include pair work and group work. It will be more engaging, of course. We have Asma said, I can bring my students' interests into activities. Yes, that will sure make them more engaging. We have Zuhair. I could give my students chances to express themselves in different ways, drawing, writing, or speaking. Yes, introducing themselves, they can be more engaging for students because people they like to speak about themselves. Those are great answers. Keep them coming. I will read them later. Moving to you, Miss Malika.
Wow, great ideas as I can see here. All right. Now we are learning from each other. So we don't need to also technology to motivate our students. We can start with these easy strategies. As you can see here on the screen, you can make your lesson engaging. by reducing your talk. You talk less, but just motivate your students to talk more. You can use timer, all right, and also you can um, motivate or you can help your students speaking by using sentence starter like I think, in my opinion, one reason is, and also give your students a voice by offering choices like do you want to read the dialogue or you want to act it, do you want to work individually or with your partner. So in that way we will make our lessons more motivating. Now let's now try something. Yes, something else. Um, it's just one small change. Tell us about it that you will try in your classroom this week. Okay, share it in the chat box. Type one small change in the chat box.
Okay, as Miss Malika said, can you write one idea or technique that you acquire from today's webinar and you will try and use this week? In one sentence, please. We have here, Aisha said, try language game in classes. Yes, using gamification more effective for students. We have Nahla C, if a colleagues can observe my ISQs and how I give instructions in an upcoming classes. Using peer observation, this is a treasure, I call them. We have Hashim said, think about positive phrases I can use to support my student. Yes, as Ms. Malika said previously, changing the words can change mindset. We have Reem, ask a teacher friend if I can observe her lesson. And last but not least, we have Hannah, learn more about growth mindset, of course. Okay.
These are fantastic ideas, really. Okay. So now remember, a change doesn't come from doing everything at once. It comes from small, constant steps. When we learn and support each other, we will move from observation to real motivation. Thank you. Yes.
Okay, before we close, we invite you to join our community of practice to stay connected and continue learning with us. You can find information about upcoming events, teams, share your thoughts and ideas. Thank you. I'm your host Hiba and presenters Ms. Malika and Ms. Soaad.
Let us say one thing, that motivation is not only about students.
After everything we discussed today, it starts with us. We don't grow alone, we grow together.
Thank you for being amazing participants. See you in another webinars. Goodbye.
And I'm your host Hiba. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.